Why did you decide to include this financial freedom tool, or is this now you're the financial freedom consultant, or how has your role changed?
22 years ago, I was the strategy guy. I was in a big strategy firm and I would come as the strategy guy and we would look like strategy guys, suit and tie and big cars and all that stuff. And then times changed. People became more practical. Like, I have to solve stuff. I don't need a strategy guy. Nobody wakes up in the morning, oh, I need a strategy guy. And you have been in many sessions where people come in and they ask me about sales and marketing problems. Simon, my pipeline is not full. Simon, I want to close this deal, but it's kind of glitchy. Let's focus on sales. So inside of that, I focus on sales. And this is actually how you niche down. Some people say, oh my God, I know I should niche down, but I don't have the courage to do it. You don't need courage, because just do what you do, and bit by bit, when you feel confident with it, then you go deeper and niche down.
Hi, I'm Zarina, and welcome to the Grownlearn podcast. Beyond these conversations, I actively connect investors with high growth opportunities. Right now, I'm working on projects seeking strategic partners, like a $346 million real estate development, a revolutionary heating technology, and an AI-driven life insurance disruptor. If you're an investor, PE firm, or family office looking for scalable ventures, let's talk. Book a call at grownlearn.org to explore these opportunities. I'm welcoming back the one and only Simon Severino, the CEO of Strategist Prince, the top sales coach and consultant. When I mean top, I mean it. He's now facilitated more than $1 billion in sales for his clients. We're speaking to him about the news in sales, the news that are brought by the facilitation of AI in various processes. So how this has changed sales altogether. Hi, Simon.
Hey, Zarina. Hey, everyone. Thanks for the nice introduction.
Simon, you've been coaching people and companies, small and larger corporations, in sales in the past 20 years, I believe, for a very long time. What has changed since the rapid introduction of AI?
Today, it took me 10 minutes to build a real-time dashboard and to upload it to the Sprint Club. And it's a complex dashboard, but in the end, now people input two things and they know their current money management, how much money should be invested, how much should be in cash, when the volatility is at which level. It took me 10 minutes. I don't know how to code. And we didn't even think that it's possible. I was just playing around with Claude and my team was like, holy hell, Simon, what is happening here? You built a dashboard. You are the least technical person on our team. Everybody knows it. I'm not technical. I was just talking to Claude. Claude, how would you do this if this is the outcome? Boom, 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 Simon. Boom, here's the code. I say, wait a moment. I can go to my website and put it in there right now. Sure. Do you want me to give you the 3 steps? 10 minutes later, there is a real-time live dashboard on money management. How much of your money right now should be invested? How much should be in cash? You know what this means? This is for many traders, investors, these family offices. This is the difference between blowing up at the 30% VIX, which we have right now, blowing up, so being margin called, being out of the business, or staying in the business, being the best fund manager, best hedge fund, and win 10 years, win 20 years, stay around longer. And it took 10 minutes and a conversation with Claude. So one side is extremely speeding up. I don't think it's changing, it's speeding up. Mm-hmm. It would have taken me 6 months to learn coding and build that. Yeah. Now it takes 10 minutes. The other side is, okay, but if idiot Simon can create a dashboard, now everybody who has a Wi-Fi can create a dashboard. Which means, from a buyer's perspective, because selling is the art of making it easy to buy. That's my definition. So from a buyer's perspective, with all these flawed 100,000 dashboards per day coming to me, 100 million offers, how do I know who's legit? How do I know who to trust? And I think this is, from a buyer psychology, that's for me is the most important trend to focus on with my clients. You will be in a world over the next 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, where everything that you offer, basically the internet will offer. But how do they know that you're legit? How do they know that you're the real deal, that they can trust you, that you actually care? How do we find out who actually cares? Because if it doesn't work, they give us maybe one more month of that service, or they give us the money back. Versus they just don't care. Take the money and bye-bye. How will we know? And so as a sales coach, I focus on these things. One answer is community. If you have a software and I have a software, but I don't have a community, but you have a community, there is 20 people on YouTube talking about your software, who do you trust more?
Yeah. But
so one answer is
how do you build a community then? It's more like legacy without AI, or does AI help you to build a community as well?
The community is done with really caring about the people that you are here to serve, and that you are using AI to help solve problems. AI is just a tool. Right? It's just a tool that helps you think faster and compute faster. But relationships, taste, that's still a human thing. And so those relationships, they matter. And how do you see that somebody actually cares? Because they give you access. They share the things that they would do, not just the things that they want you to do, but they're doing something else on their own. So walk the walk, talk the talk. They are here when you need them. They give you the actual advice. Sometimes they tell you, hey, this is bullshit. This is what you need to do. And it's not what you want to hear. These are things that help you find out, okay, who's real out there and who actually cares about your success. As a buyer, how will you know? You will be on social media. You will be bombarded with emails. How do you know which one is legit? I think this will be the main question.
And one of the ways to discover is to join a community and to interact with people that have experienced the...
No, it's to start your own paid community, which is so expensive that it's real. Because free communities, there are you and I, we are probably in 25 Facebook groups, free Facebook groups. But in how many communities are you that are above $20,000 a year to access?
None.
Either 0 or 1. Probably not 17. And how will you decide in which one to be? So I am mostly in one of those per year or per decade. And I pay to play. I pay to be in there if it's a space that is safe, that pushes me, that accelerates my learning, helps me not do mistakes that somebody else has done already. And so they give me the shortcut. Is it worth for me $20,000 to have a shortcut? Absolutely yes. It's usually a 3, 4 times, 5 times ROI. And so, but how do I pick them? I follow these people. I read what they write on socials. Then I ask other people. I talk with other people about them. Then I watch their videos, multiple videos in a row. After maybe 5 to 10 to maybe 15 videos, now I have decided this person is legit. The energy is good for me. After watching that video, I feel more confident. I actually implemented stuff. If now in that video they say, by the way, I have a paid community. If you want to join, here's the link, I might join. And if they say, I have a cohort starting that solves this specific problem that you might have, and it's 6 weeks or 6 months, and this is the price and this is the link, I might join it. I might read their book if they come out with a book. This is what I mean by community building. You do your thing, but you do it in public. You open up. Hey, today I'm coaching this person. This is what happened. This is what I learned. This was my mistake. This is how you start building community. You do what you do and what you're good at, but you do it in public. You gradually open up.
Yeah. Now, talking about opening up, it seems that these lines of work that were previously defined as, let's say, sales, consulting, marketing, they're all merging with other fields. You yourself started the conversation talking about a dashboard you've built on investment management. So in your videos, in your, I believe, a second channel, or maybe it's one now, you also talk about investment strategy, and it's a big focus in your groups as well. Why did you decide to include this financial freedom tool, or is this now you're the financial freedom consultant, or how has your role changed?
Great question. Yes, there has been some sharpening over 22 years. 22 years ago, I was the strategy guy. I was in a big strategy firm, and I would come as the strategy guy, and we would look like strategy guys, you know, suit and tie and big cars and all that stuff. And then times changed. Nobody needed these kind of people anymore. And especially people became more practical. Like, I have to solve stuff. I don't need a strategy guy. Nobody wakes up in the morning, oh, I need a strategy guy. And so I had to listen better to what people are asking me about. And you have been in many sessions where people come in and they ask me about sales and marketing problems. Simon, my pipeline is not full. Simon, I want to close this deal, but it's kind of glitchy. I don't have grip on this deal. I want more grip on this deal. And I said, okay, let's focus on sales. So inside of that, I focused on sales. Now, when you focus on sales, and this is actually how you niche down. Some people say, oh my God, I know I should niche down, but I don't have the courage to do it. You don't need courage, because just do what you do, and bit by bit, when you feel confident with it, then you go deeper and niche down. You don't niche down from the beginning. You do what you do, and then you realize, oh, that's what they need. And then you go deeper into that. This is the lower risk way of niching down. And so I went into sales, which was just one part of strategy, market strategy. And so inside of sales, now people were asking all the time about closing deals, SOP, how to negotiate the price, objection handling. And I realized I have to pick one lane as a coach. A coach is a very broad thing. And by the way, consulting and coaching will 100% be replaced by AI. I already use Claude as my coach and my consultant. It's amazing. I mean, the dashboard example, right? It's quick, it's smart. Nobody needs a consultant for these kind of things anymore. So, and I'm one myself, so I am in this situation. Now, they asked about money questions. And so I think we small teams, if we want to get clear as a brand, we have to pick one of three things. We either make people happier, smarter, or richer. If you pick one, now you can niche down and be more of help. So I picked richer. It wasn't easy to pick one, but I picked richer because I was listening to what people asked me in the Monday sessions, and they were asking for pipeline. And that's not to be smarter or happier. That's to have more deals closed.
Just out of curiosity, what falls under smarter? What kind of coaching is that? Who wants to be smarter? I always had the feeling that they want a certain solution rather than the knowledge. I don't know. What falls under smarter?
So brands that make you smarter are, for example, a podcast called Business Breakdowns. They break down complex businesses like Louis Vuitton, which is 60 businesses at once, and they break it down and they tell you the history of it. Another podcast is Acquired. They break down the history of a specific entrepreneur, or the Founders Podcast. An example of a consultant that breaks things down is somebody on X explaining you how to read a balance sheet.
I see.
It's something complicated. They make it simple. So they make you smarter, because now at the next dinner party, you can tell everybody how a balance sheet works.
Great conversation.
That's what a nerd I am, right? That's why nobody invites me to parties anymore. And that makes you smarter. And happier would be, helping you get better at relationships, at friendships, in your body. Fitness makes you happy. These kind of things. Being in nature. And so I picked Richer. And what then happened is, I can even show you the Sprint Club. Right now there are 216 people in there. And again, my method is always the same. I listen to people. So these 216 sprinters, they ask questions, right? And so I answer. And whenever I answer, there are some clusters of questions that they ask. So they're asking about how to optimize their deal flow. Yeah. But also they're asking how to have more free time, because they're getting older, they're having kids, priorities shift. At some point, you have made some money, priorities shift. And then also, okay, but what do I do with that money? Can I put it somewhere that makes passive income? So they start asking questions about dividends, about options trading, things that are more passive, like getting income from rent and other things. And then the discussions are, okay, but how much % should we expect? Are bonds great or not? What's a diversified portfolio? And so this is how we came from, and I'm sharing even what I'm buying. Yesterday I was buying Amazon and Alphabet because they're right now cheap, right? Or options trading. And by the way, the dashboard, this is the dashboard that I built 10 minutes ago. So it's a money management dashboard. And it shows you right now the VIX, the volatility is at 30%. Now you can say, okay, what's your account value? For example, your options account is 49,000 right now. And then how much excess liquidity do you have, which is not tied up in options? Let's say it's 14,000. Oh, you're fine, no action needed. So I listened to them, they asked me questions, and the questions were more and more about passive income. And so I started answering them, and by answering, I found it fascinating, and so I'm down that rabbit hole.
Fantastic. Do you know how many of your community members are active investors, like a percentage-wise?
Active versus
Like
just passive ETFs?
Who would make use of the tool that you just built? Who?
Inside that community,
Yeah.
20 people are using options. This is a money management tool for options. So how much should be invested versus in cash? This is when you do conservative options, selling puts, selling covered calls. And 20 of us are doing it right now, and we're exchanging experiences and trying to get better.
So within the community, the Sprinters Club, there are actually smaller groups with different interests. Some are interested more in sales, lead generation. Others are interested in investment.
Yes, and also, yes, and also, somebody starts to learn something, and then you learn by seeing that, oh, I could do that too. And this is how the others learn then. Because, for example, some of them think, oh, I don't need a YouTube channel. And so maybe there are just 25 YouTubers. But next year it will be 30 because they see, oh, if they can do it, I can do it. It's easier than I thought. And same with options. Most people think options is risky, so I don't do it. And if you think that, you don't touch it, right? I didn't touch options for 44 years because I thought they're risky. And now I realize it's the opposite. The gambler loses the money, but the casino makes the money. And so when you buy options, you're the gambler. But when you sell options, you're the market maker, you're the casino. And so as the casino, you have less risk than holding anything that you just buy and then statically hold. So some people in the Sprint Club, they see, oh, wait, it's the opposite of what I thought. Let me try start an interactive broker's account.
Okay, so the future of sales consulting is community so far, as far as I get your direction.
The buyer will look for, what can I trust? Can I trust your service? Can I trust your product? To increase trust, there are 28 things that you can do, but one is community. If you are deciding which tax management software to use, should I use TurboTax or Xero? How do you decide? You go to the internet, you ask, and you land probably on YouTube. That's the search engine right now. And then on YouTube, you will find that, I'm making this up, Xero has 0 people making videos about it, but TurboTax has 15 people making videos about it. Which one, just from a gut feeling, just from a body feeling, which one do you trust more? It's de-risked, because if something happens, you can ask. And just generally, if 15 people are using it, it's already de-risking a little bit your decision. If it works for them, it might work for me, right? So there are multiple levels of de-risking. And making it easy to buy is de-risking. How can you de-risk? By showing social proof. How can you de-risk? By seeing that if something goes wrong, there are some reversal mechanisms. For example, you can watch a video and then maybe you fix that bug. Or you can ask somebody, versus you have nobody to ask. Or you have access. You have a risk reversal. So those are some of the 28 things that you can do to reduce risk for the buyer. And community catches quite a few of them.
Your book that is behind you, actually, the two of them, the 200K. Now that's the club. That's not the book. The book is Strategy. I can't see it from here. Strategy Sprints. Behind you. It's in quite a few languages. It's available worldwide now.
Yeah, we started in English 2022, and the publisher, Kogan Page, is a very small publisher in London, but they have a superpower. They sell the rights to platforms, these summarizing platforms. They sold like 3 of them. And now 2 languages. So they went to China, sold it into Chinese, and it came out in Chinese this year. I guess it's my book. I don't know. I can't read Chinese, but they tell me it's my book. And I'm getting royalties every month. So and now they sold it into Russian. So next year, or even, no, I think 2025. 2025, we will see the Russian version of Strategy Sprints.
So is writing a book a part of the strategy, for a part of these 27 things that you can do to build trust?
Yes, because it's called a taster. So one of my intervention is taster. So when you go to the supermarket and there is a new cheese, they say, hey, want to taste it? They give you a little part of that actual product. You taste it, and then you know if you like it. That's the most natural thing to do. It's just some knowledge professions. Like if you go to McKinsey, you can't taste anything. So how do you know if you should go to McKinsey or to Boston Consulting, right? And you try to find out. So I encourage our clients to create a taster situation. So a book can be a taster. So this book is, for many people, is a taster. I'm not sure if I should do a sprint, which is $27,000. That's a lot of money. What if it does work? But hey, $20, I can read the book. If it's a terrible book, I know my decision. If it's a great book, maybe I give this guy one more chance. I watch one more video. I read the Kindle version. It's just $9. So this is part of the decision-making process, and they are getting a taster. And also the Sprint Club has a taster, which I'm proud of, because it took me like, I don't know, it's 10 years that I'm thinking about how can I create this cheese tasting situation, right? It's not that easy. But now I did it. So if people go to the website, strategysprints.com, now they say, okay, this guy can supercharge my sales. Okay. And they have a face. Okay. And they have some logos. Okay. But I still don't trust them. Okay. They have some clients. Now maybe I start to trust them, right? But everybody can make this up. So I want to actually taste it. And so now we have this try 7 days free, which I never had. And I think if you can have a trial, like in software, I think that's one of the 28 things that you can do.
Yeah, you used to have monthly taster calls. Are these replaced now by the 7-day free trial? Or do you
I still do
have...
once a month a public workshop, short workshop of 50 minutes where we pick one sales problem and we solve it live. Yeah, that's also kind of a taster, right? But
Mhm.
it's even more of a taster if you can use it on your own for 7 days. You go even deeper than 50 minutes in a larger group.
Mhm. What's inside the community? What can they experience within these 7 days? Are you there daily to guide them, or do they interact with other members? How does it work?
Yes, I'm their Jarvis. I always say they are Iron Man, I'm Jarvis. And so they discuss here marketing questions, sales questions. So for example, they're discussing which YouTube metrics do really matter. What are the few that they should really look at? And then in sales, they're discussing, okay, how do we set up a contract? How to do power hours. Power hours, you know them. It's a concept where in 45 minutes you sit together, you make 3 referrals each. That's a power partnership method. Then there are master classes from teachers that I invite in. So Jay Abraham is one teacher who made one masterclass for us and offered 4 more masterclasses that he had already recorded. And there are coaching sessions where people can book me as a coach and go deeper. They can tag me. They can join our Monday sessions. We have workshops together. There is a leaderboard where you see the most active people and they're getting badges like a trailblazer or an impact multiplier. So it's a little bit gamified. We share victories. Oh, I closed this deal. I did this. And we share our passive income and how we are adding things like licensing or book royalties or options, dividends, rental income. We discuss everything that leads to adding 200K to our life.
That's why it's called the 200K Club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. Simon, what else can I ask you that I haven't asked you? I actually I want to hear. I'm sure that your website is full of reviews, feedback from people working with you. But what are some big successes that your clients from your community have shared with you recently?
One of my favorite is Chanel, who was living in Switzerland, and she was on her own. Her business was she and her husband. And so they were working all the time. If you are a team of 2 people, you know that you have all the hats and you are always working. Even when you're not working, you're thinking about the business. But it was Switzerland. Her dream was to organize her business in a way that it works smoother and less dependent on her. And the second, but it was a dream. Oh, and when I have that, then I move to something more sunny. And so after 90 days, organized her business better. And then she moved from Switzerland to Barcelona. And now she is enjoying the sun, the beach, a business that works. Those are my favorite stories when you see the life impact that it can have when your business runs well.
Yeah, I remember one of your sessions was especially dedicated to delegation. I think that
Correct.
A great first step to growth. Yeah, fantastic. Once again, where can people get the free trial and the name of the book, your contacts? Can you please share?
Yes, it's strategiesprints.com. And they can try it like a cheese for 7 days, strategiesprints.com. The book is called Strategy Sprints. It's on Amazon or wherever they buy books, Strategy Sprints.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Simon. Great pleasure.
Thank you, Zarina.
Thank you for listening to Grow and Learn. We hope that you found our podcast informative, engaging, and inspiring. Our mission is to help you keep growing and learning, and we hope that our conversations and insights have provided you with practical advice and useful perspectives. If you're looking for personalized support and guidance to help you achieve your personal or professional growth objectives, I offer a range of services to help. As a trusted management partner and mentor, I work with businesses in the process of transformation, looking for new streams of business as well as M&A. With an extensive professional network of experts and mentors, I can bring on board the right person or team based on the specific needs of the company I'm working with. To learn more about the services I offer and how I can help you achieve your goals, please visit my website at grownlearn.org. You can also reach out to me via email or social media. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this episode of Grow and Learn, please subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback is important to us and it helps us to continue to create content that is relevant and valuable to our listeners. Thanks again for listening, and we look forward to sharing more insights and perspectives with you in the future.